And again, Toni Tessler, you are here. ToniStamps. Hey, Cecilia. And I'm going to do some fun alcohol backgrounds today. But let's start with just a couple of reminders. The sign-up deal, so if you want to be a hobby demo or a business demo, this ends on Monday, the 31st. And that's, you pick $155 worth of stuff for $99 plus tax. They cover the shipping. And you pick all of the $155, so you don't have to get anything you don't want to. Next thing is our Connect and Craft and Collect Extra Dollars. $25 extra if your party hits $250. That is through June 14th. So just keep that in mind. Next up, reminder that my workshop closes, my May workshop closes on Monday as well. And this is, I just wanted to drag these cards out again. This was when we made, you're going to get your flower, you're going to get a pen and some punched out flower bits, and I've practically wrecked mine, and a little ladybug. You're going to get this as a little bonus thing. But we made this card, this beautiful square one, that's a belly band. This with the new Quiet Meadows dies, I love that. And then this really cool tag. So that was my May workshop, and that is what I'm closing out on Sunday night. All right, so last call for that. That's what this hostess code is for. And you are also getting with that a pack of the new flourishes, and I just got mine last week. So this was as I expected. They're little plastic bits, little teeny tiny flowers, and you just glue them on stuff. You can either use glue dots or liquid glue. I don't think like regular tape is gonna quite do it, but look how teeny tiny. And these are some of the new ink colors. Oops. The Fresh Freesia, the Polished Pink, and the Pale Papaya. So let's get a look at those. So tiny and cute. All right, so that is in your May workshop packet as well, that freebie. Let me go down my list. Oh, the United Through Creativity digital download. I meant to print that out last night and I totally forgot. So that is it's a PDF that's available in the online store, and I think it's 14 pages long. It's similar to what they did last year. You just print it out. You can't resize stuff, but you just print it out and you fussy cut stuff or use different label die cuts, cut stuff out. Some you can color in, some are already a certain color. And I meant to print that out last night. Whoopsie. I'll get a load of that later. And then another announcement, Strawberry Punch and the bundle are back. They've been out of stock for a while. Okay, so now they're available if you were waiting on that. So go get it. Now let's look at some mail. I don't think I did mail last week, and I felt bad. I forgot it. Hey, Di, you're here. Awesome. So I got this nice thank you card and from Amy, and this was from a paper pumpkin kit a couple years ago, and I really like this one. I remember the it's a little succulent in a teacup stamp, and looks like she added a layer of vellum here, and I really like that. I like the paper pumpkins. This was from Kay, and this is watercolor paper. Let me bring this a little closer. I really don't know how she did this technique. I'm gonna have to ask her, but I love the look of this. It's watercolory for sure, but I don't know if she used a stamp positioner of some kind. I really have no idea. But she die cut out with the stitched rectangles, so it's a frame, and then embossed the greening. That's really pretty. I like it. I got this gorgeous one from Leslie. Do we all remember this little beach chair? Love it. Love the sponging down here to get the, the beach and the ocean and the sky. And this is raised up. So this cutout frame is raised up, and the chair is popped up with a little margarita or something. I like it. So, and this other one from Chris, this is funny. So this is my friend Chris that I send her a bunch of cards every year, and so it just cracks me up when she sends me a card that I made. Now this one came from Sean, and I just wanted to point this out. Like, we've all gotten mail like this where you see holes in it and you're like, oh no, I hope it's not wrecked inside. This will happen with pearls and rhinestones. I'm freezing, Di? I'm looking, it still says I'm live. I'm not freezing on my end. Maybe you need to restart or like go out and do a little refresh or something. Because I'm checking up here and it still says live is still good. And I'm not glitching really on my end. Okay, back to this. So Sean's card, I always worry when I see little holes. But not too much. So this is from, I don't know if you can tell, like it sheared just the tippy tops of these iridescent pearls off. And it's still, they look fine. Like I don't ever worry about this. So sometimes you may put like an extra piece of paper, little rectangle of cardstock to cover over these, but I really, even myself, I rarely do that. I don't worry about it. But this is, look at this, I love it. This is called a triple layer, which I believe you stack up these 3 layers of the white, like you barely tape them together, and then you stamp one time, and then it all matches up. Like, we'll have to go over that again. I know I haven't done that in a long time, but I love it. I love this butterfly set. So thanks, you guys. Good mail. And then one more thing before we get started. So for you guys that did the paper share, I've already told you that I've got new packs of this coming up. This is the gold and rose gold paper. So, I'm freezing on and off for you too, Vicky. That's weird. Because A, I just got my new phone last week, and B, nothing is showing up on my iPad here. Okay. This is crazy. So Rose isn't having any freezing problems either, so this is weird. Okay. Maybe I have to keep moving, because I know I had my hands still for a minute. But what I wanted to show you guys, oh, and this is the wrong pack. There was lines in my paper. Oh man, where did that go? So I had, oh, here we go. Sorry. So I had gotten a couple extra packs of this. So the rose gold and gold. It's very pretty paper, beautiful. But what I found when I was separating for my paper swaps is that some of them have a line through them. Oh, here we go. So let me turn this. Hopefully you guys can see there's a line right across here. And let me see. Let me watch my iPad to see if I have to turn the angle. But it's right across here. And then another one right across here. So when you're looking at it flat, like straight up and down, it looks fine. You turn it just a little, and I see the line right here. So if you have ordered any of this, I would like you to check it and let me know. So because I've called Stampin' Up and I have replacements coming. So for the girls that got the paper share, we're gonna get new pieces of that, and I'm hoping they just send me like a whole extra pack, so that then we'll get extra rose gold too. It's not the end of the world. You do see it, Peggy? Okay, good. It's not the end of the world, but you know, because you can cut around it. I intend to use this as die cutting or punching. I'm not really going to stamp on it, and I'm certainly not going to use the whole sheet for a background. That's just too spendy, I think. But so I can punch around it. It's just the fact that it shouldn't be like that. So if you have this at home, please check. Vicky, you did heat embossing on this paper, and you don't recommend it because it changed the appearance of the paper in splotches. I totally understand that. I'm not surprised at that. Just because I don't know how they got this, because this feels kind of smooth. You know, it has a brushed look, but it feels a little smooth, but I just don't know how they got it like that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure heat embossing would wreck it. Okay. Oh, thanks, Di. We'll catch you later. Okay, let's get into it. So today I'm going to use this blowy thing from years ago. Actually, let me get a sip of coffee. You can also use straws. You can also just blow on it if you want. But this, we're going to be putting a lot of air on it. We're also going to use 91% alcohol. The 70% does not work with this stuff, with the alcohol, with the blends and alcohol inks, whatever. We're also going to use this little medicine dropper. And I got this at Walmart in the like the pharmacy section where Band-Aids and vitamins and all that stuff are. It's called glass medicine droppers. And yeah, Sue, the blowy thing. You actually get two. One has a, oh, and I think I just broke this. One has a curved end, which that was not chipped. Now I'm gonna have to go find that little piece of glass because I just threw it up in my container. All right. So one has a curved tip, which I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why there's two different ones. I'm just using the flat one. And then you're going to need a little container. This is just an empty one, acorn trinkets. And I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. So there's been plenty of people doing lots of different techniques with the Stampin Blends and alcohol. And Sue did some really good backgrounds, I think just last Friday, right? I can't remember already. But I'm going to use a different thing. So I'm only going to do 2 cards today. I'm doing one in yellows and greens and then pinks and purples. So I am using vellum. That seems to be the way to go. Where do I find the 90% alcohol? It's 91%, and I find this, oh, this one says CVS, but they have this at Walmart too. Yeah, before I've gotten everything at Walmart, and this container is really old. Actually, I have a bigger container, the Equate from Walmart, but I can't reach that now. And then I just refill this smaller one because it fits in my little holder. But I think you can, I know there was a shortage last year of the alcohol, but I think that's over. I think everything's good now. All right, so I'm also using transfer adhesive sheets. And these are old. I think the new ones are 6x12, and I'm just using up my old ones. But I cut them down so I could get 2 out of a sheet like this. And so it's not going to quite cover the whole back of the card like I want, but we're going to make it work. So vellum, and the reason I'm using the adhesive sheets is whenever you decorate the vellum, then you have to attach it to generally a white background or something so you can see through it. But I always can see the adhesive, and I don't like that. So I'm going to do the adhesive from the get. So I've got a couple of white 4x 5 1/4. I'm going to put those off to the side. So let's just do our first vellum. And I thought I attached a piece already, but I guess not. All right, so I'm just going to show you. So with this adhesive sheet, there is a little strip at the top. So you just have to bend that a little and get that going. These are very, very sticky. So get this going. And then I'm going to line up this edge with the edge of the vellum, which is tricky with my eyeballs and the white on white. Okay, so press that down. So our adhesive sheet is kind of like flopping off. Now we just peel this layer off. Okay, and all this glue is here. So I'm just gonna press my fingers down because you don't want any air bubbles, and just go across. All right. The fact that it does not quite come to the edge, I don't care because I'm gonna trim that off. All right. So I'm just gonna give this a good burnish with my fingers. Now I suspect that I'm still gonna be able to see these little glue dots through the vellum. And I'm just gonna have to live with that. And I'm just gonna, in my head, that's gonna be much like using the textured Tasteful Textiles folder, the embossing folder. Just give it a little texture. All right, now let's get to this. So you want some blends markers, some alcohol blends markers. I have found that the darker ones seem to work better because when we put alcohol on it, it kind of lightens it up. It takes the color away. So I'm really only going to use the dark ones, but I grabbed all of these. So light Mossy Meadow, I'm not going to use that. Dark Mossy Meadow, yes. Old Olive, this is medium Old Olive because I still have the old, these were from when we first got the blends. They've got the different caps on them. And then Daffodil Delight, medium and light. So I'm only going to use medium. For these, I think my darks already dried up. That's why I don't have them. But I did a sample and these are going to work. So let's start with the darkest green, and you're just going to take the flatter brush end. And this part is very similar, like to what everybody, this is all the rage now. Everyone's doing something with it. All right, so that was the dark Mossy Meadow. Now I'm going to add the Old Olive, and I'm not worrying too much if I touch the colors together. And I'm going to take it all the way to the edge. All right, boop, 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 down here. And then Daffodil Delight. Yeah, the lighter colors, they just disappear. The alcohol just, it lightens it, and it just makes it go away. We want that a little bit, but we don't want to take all the color off. That defeats the purpose. Now with this method that I'm going to show you with the little eyedropper, it's kind of hard to go back and add more color later. Like if you have some bald spots, I mean, you can do it, but not ideal. All right, let's get these out of the way. So now we've got this vellum that we've pretty much colored entirely with 3 different colors of the Stampin' Blends. So now we're going to take our little tray of alcohol. Now I'm going to do a two-handed thing. So you squeeze this and then put it in here so you get some of the alcohol in there. Oopsie. I'm going to start with the lighter colors. And you can see that it's starting to, as soon as you drop it down here, you can see it's starting to move. So then we're going to use the blowy thing, and less is more. Like I can tell I already put too much alcohol on here. Like just a teeny little drop. And I'm going to do the blowing from all angles. And it does dry pretty quick. And you get some neat splattery looking bits. So I know Sue did with the brush, like the aqua painter. And that I think gives you more control. So you'll really just have to try all the ways and see what you like. So see this area where I got like, that was way too much. But I'm just going to live with it. All right, now I'm just going to go back and go over all the greens at the same time and just do the blowy bit all over. Yeah, this tool was meant to put a marker in, and then you would get, you squeeze it and it would blow some of the ink off the marker and we would get splatters. This is from a long time ago. But now I'm just going to use this part just to hold it. Now this is, you could use a straw and just blow it straight yourself. Let's add some more. I feel like there's some spots where I'm not hitting. And if we need more, there we go. The trick with this is not letting it roll away. So you see, we still have color, but it's definitely, it like bleaches it out. But I like this. I like this effect. And after I'm finished with this, I'll show you, I thought I would get the wise idea to try it on glossy paper. Boo. Complete fail. The one piece I'm still going to use for something else, but the other piece is it's a goner. All right. So now I'm happy with this. And I'm just going to let this sit off to the side to dry. And yeah, I like it. So different. You can definitely see where the yellow, like everything just really lightens up. And, you know, we see a lot of white through here. So the darker colors, the better. And I like that. Let's put that off. Now this is the one that I did last night. And so that's been drying overnight. It wants to curl. So the vellum wants to curl. Actually, here was my first scrap one too. And then it can be a little hard to work with. But when you put it on this adhesive sheet, it's very pliable. And I think it's going to be easy to work with. So, but I am going to trim these bits off. But to look, similar effects, similar colors. So I do like it. Definitely something to play with, and darker colors, much better. I still want to get to try adding the gold, but that's for another day. All right, let me show you my two failures. This was the first one that I did on glossy, and this was not with the Stampin' Blends. This one was with just straight reinkers, and then I sprayed alcohol and then used the blowy thing to try to move it around some. And this did not go as planned, but I'm still going to use it for something because I think this will be a good like undersea, like underwater sea life background. And really, this is all blue. I only use green. I use garden green and crushed curry, and this is what I got because all the yellow and blue or yellow and green makes blue. I don't know. And then the back, it's really seeping through because I really put a lot of alcohol on here. But that was on glossy, and that was no good. This was also glossy, and I tried the same technique where I colored the markers on it first, and then I tried with this thing and, adding the alcohol and blowing it around. It did not change the markers at all. So this is going right in the trash. Gone. All right, let me move this. So I'm going to leave this off to the side to dry, and we're going to use the one that I already started. So I'm going to start, let me trim it down to 5. I want it to go on a white background, so I've already got these trimmed 5 1/4 by 4. And so I'm just going to take a little off both sides. Oh, and by the way, these vellum sheets started out 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So Peggy, can you try, you said you don't have the blends, can use ink drops and alcohol blending painters instead. That's what I was trying on the, actually let's give that a whirl after I'm finished with this. Because I want to say it should work. But I'm just not for sure. All right, and this I'm just going to trim 5 1/4. Let's go this way. So this piece is 4 by 5 1/4 now. Yeah, I want to say that's going to work with reinkers and just alcohol. I think I've done that before where I sprayed the alcohol, but we'll try. All right, so now I just want to peel this up. Now I'm going to only peel a little bit so that I can start this edge. I can line it up with the edge of my paper here. So I can just try to keep it straight-ish. And if I fail on that, we're just going to have to trim it down more. It's just the way it's going to go. Okay. and I can see a little bit of white peeking out there. So yeah, I'm gonna trim it just a little bit more. All right, and I'm just rubbing all over this just to get that all sticky. Okay, I am happy. So those little dots from the adhesive do not really show up that much. So I'm happy about that. All right, but let's get this back because I don't like this white hanging out. So let's see, 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, whoopsie. Didn't mean to hit my phone with the cutter. So let's go 4 by 5 1/4. So I want to take it down 1/8. So let me get this off both sides. So we'll end up with 3 7/8. And this sticky stuff wants to stick to my cutter. So I'm gonna have to go and trim up my cutter. All right, so 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 now. Yeah, these adhesive sheets, they just want to stick. Okay, so let's take one of the other 4 by 5 1/4. So this will just give me a little white border, but I like that. And I'm just going to use tape. Keep it easy, and I got to drag this a little closer to myself to get it straight to my eyeballs. All right, that is good. Now I had picked a Daffodil Delight background for this because it's nice and bright. And I'm going to slide this under my scratch paper to score it so I don't get that shiny line. I like that. So I could have gone with Mossy Meadow or Old Olive, but I like the yellow. So these are from Dragonfly Garden, and these are leftovers from a couple weeks ago when I did the folding, the weave background, the faux kitchen tile. This is crushed curry. No, this is Bumblebee. But just putting it up here, like, it's perfectly fine. It's close enough. And I had this little bit, which I don't think I'm going to use. I'm going to use a scrap of white and stamp our greeting. And I just want to add a little bit. I'm going to use some of these ladybugs, which reminds me, the retired list for the January through June catalog that's being released June 1st. I just looked at it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I don't know when we can start posting that, but I will tell you things like the Mossy Meadow ribbon and the ladybug trinkets, these are being retired. So if you want to get them, once they put that list out on June 1st, I imagine it's going to be while supplies last, even though this is this should be available through June 30th. I don't know how they're going to handle that, so I'm going to have to look again. But, a bunch of more stamp sets. This one is obviously in the book, the new book. Let's go with Thank You for Your Kindness. And blah, blah, blah. And I'm just going to stamp this in, I'm going to go with Mossy. I was going to say black, but changed my mind. So Mossy Meadow on Whisper White with the Dragonfly Garden. Let me just clean this off real quick. Put this back. All right, now this part I didn't really have planned out, so I'm going to punch this out. Let's give this a whirl. Use our double. Let's see if this is going to fit in here. Because I do like the idea of the double punch. Okay, that fits close enough. Kind of a tight squeeze, but all right. And then I'm just going to punch another white one out. And get rid of this. All right, this is how this was going to go laid out. Let me glue our background. I can't get over how much I like this background. And I do like using the adhesive sheets. That just makes me feel better that I can't really see the adhesive. You know, I can't see any lines through it. All right. Up. And I'm going to use some of these ladybugs. So let's pop up our dragonflies. So Vicki, you said you tried the markers with drops of water and it worked, but didn't look quite like the alcohol and ink. I think I've tried that a long time ago too. This is reminiscent of that polished stone technique from a long time ago when we would like put everything on a cotton ball and then dab it. That's what all this reminds me of. All right, let me tape this. So we've got a white on white layer. I kind of want these here. And now I've decided I don't want that white on white. I want that yellow, or actually I'm just going to leave it like this. Yep, pop this up. So I want to add a little bit of this Mossy Meadow trim. And this is where I take fast fuse, like some strong adhesive. You could use sticky strip, whatever you want. And I call this the swoopy loopy. So I'm just going to go back and forth, trim that up so this sticks down. And then you can see the adhesive here. Hopefully that's showing up. This is going to cover it up. But now I need to put dimensionals on this. So let's get those dimensionals back. And I'm really going to cover the whole thing. Peel these up. Okay. Press that down. I like it. Now let's add at least one of our ladybugs. So if you have not used or worked with these ladybugs yet, there's kind of a divot in here, like a little concave on the inside. So what I do is I take some glue dots and I put a bunch in there. Oops. I'm trying to like press and squeeze to get a, like, so they go into that crater. So I'm up to 3 now and pressing. And then sometimes I may even put a little bit of glue, but I think this is going to work. All right, so 3, and I'm just going to stick them right there and give it a good press. But yeah, I have done that where I've taken it and I will just put a little bit of liquid glue in here just to like fill up that hole. And then you just have to be careful because then of course you got to hold it. And how about I just show you that, huh? Thanks, Rose. Yeah, I do like this background. It's just more work than you would definitely do like for a swap. This would be too much for making a bunch of cards. All right, oof. So when I lay this down, it's going to be wherever it goes. Yep, okay, that's it. Try to press it. Now that is 4. We need an odd number. So let's do one more ladybug. All right, the glue, it definitely works, but it takes a little more time and you have to be a little careful. Let's put it right there. Oops. I need to flip this guy over. Okay. That's where he's gonna live. Okay, so that is, I like that background. Let me get rid of some of this stuff so we can try the re-inker. So background, dragonflies, ladybugs, greeting. I like it. So let me put this off to the side. Vellum. All right, now I'm not going to stick the adhesive on this just because we're just playing, okay? So I happen to have, this is just a bag of extra re-inkers in different colors. Let's just grab Bermuda Bay and let's see, crushed curry and daffodil. I kind of want to make this for let's do garden green. I'm hoping another, like, I can use with the seahorse or something, the new Seascape bundle. Okay, so let me get another piece. This is cardboard from the Paper Pumpkins. I save these all the time because you never know, you know, they may come in handy for albums, mini albums, books, but they also come in handy for work surfaces. So I just don't know. I think it's getting confusing with all this. Let me get my wires in the way. All right, here we go. So we're going to use re-inkers, and let me get my alcohol back and my blowy thing. And do I need to tape it down? No. All right, let's go. Re-inker. So I'm going to be pretty liberal with the drops of re-inkers. So let's do this. And I'm just going to do one color at a time. All right, so let's get more alcohol. Boop, boop, boop. Just putting it right on there. A pretty big drop. Maybe that might have been too much. We'll see. So this is, the re-inker is so concentrated, okay? So it's not moving around the same as using the blends. But I gotta tell you, I am liking this. I like that we're getting these really dark bits. And I'm sorry if my hand's in the way, but I am right-handed. Let me try to do it this way. Yeah, I think maybe I was a little heavy with the re-inker. So let me go and add some more alcohol. Oh, see, I like that. And this is on the vellum cardstock. That's neat. But yeah, I can still tell, very inky. The ink is very concentrated. I think it's just a matter of blowing it around, moving it. Let's get some more alcohol here. And blow this around. Now this is the Bermuda Bay. Neat. I have a feeling when I add the green, though, the Bermuda Bay has so much green in it already. I might get some mixing that may not be ideal, but we'll see. Okay, pretty cool. Yep, and we'll just keep adding more alcohol. And that thins out our ink, but then gets a little bit more movement. I don't know when the point is, like how much alcohol, how much liquid can the vellum take? I mean, it's not like it soaks in, but there's got to be a point where it's like, I give up. You know, it's not like watercolor paper where it's intended to take all this liquid. Okay, so far I'm thinking this is a successful experiment, but it's definitely darker because I was a little heavy-handed with the dropping the re-anchors on here. Still a different look. It doesn't quite look exactly the same. Ooh, I like that. I think I'm gonna just leave that. I like that, how it's like spreading out. I know we get the same if we just flick stuff. Then we get some more movement. I like that. All right, let's add a little bit of the green. So Vicki, you're surprised that the alcohol works at all with the water-based re-anchors. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, yeah, it's weird. All right, I'm just going to do a few drops. Boop, boop, boop. Not nearly as much re-anchor as I used with the Bermuda Bay. And then we'll see how this goes. So this time, let's put the drops, and I'm putting alcohol right on top of the re-anchor here. All right, and my paper is curling a little, so I just want to hold it. And as suspected, the green is going right in with the Bermuda Bay. I like this though. I can tell I want a little more alcohol there because I want more movement. Some more here. And here. Now see how it's like curling, so it's running off the edges. I mean, if you really wanted, you could have taped the vellum down. That's not really bothering me. Neat. More alcohol. Okay. Oh, and the more, like, let's really press it and we get some more movement, and it's like moving it off the paper. This is funny. And I want a little bit right there because I want that to be moving around some. Neat. So I have a feeling this ink is going to dry like sticky, and then this might be a good candidate to try adding some of the gilded flakes later. Okay. But I think for now, I'm going to leave this. I like how this turned out. So, good call asking for that. That was a happy experiment. Definitely darker than the other way. And this has I mean, we can really see all this ink. Very concentrated. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm pretty sure though, once I let it dry, if I went back and spritzed or dropped or splashed or anything, more alcohol on it, it would, oh, oops, I put my finger right in it. It would make it move some more and like bleach out. Okay, I gotta clean up my hand a little bit. Actually, let me just put some alcohol. Dump it right in because I'm using pinks and purples next, and I don't want this to come off. It may be inevitable. So I probably should have used rubber gloves because I do have some. But we're just going to deal with that. Okay, so I like this successful experiment. And now let me find a place for safekeeping. Okay. Yeah, I like it too. All right, So now I'm going to need more alcohol for our next one. So I've reminded you, I've told you about the last call list on the June stuff. That will be coming out June 1st. I'm going to see if I can post it today or tomorrow, though. I don't know what the rules are on that. The next thing, so I had put that poll out over on my page for a contest, like, hey, pick which set do you think is my favorite? I deleted it because I wasn't clear. I wanted you guys to, when I set up the poll, I wanted you to, like, you would type out what you thought. You would create your own poll entry, like, as you went. That wasn't clear, so what I'm going to do is there's 61 new sets in the catalog. So I'm going to do a new poll and a new date, and I will type out all the new stamp sets and what page they're on, just so you can, go through the book and look at them too. And then you pick which one, and it's just a guess. If you don't know me, you don't know my personality, what my likes, dislikes are, it's just a guess, but it's just something fun. And I am going to have a prize. And I just realized I had even more ink. Man, I really did a number on myself. Okay, let's hope this doesn't come up. All right, so I'm going to do that again. I'll get the new poll out this weekend, and we will try again. But that was my bad for not being clear. All right, next I want to do something with the seashells, and I'm still digging pinks for seashells. So we're actually going to do pinks and purples this time. So this is Magenta Madness, and I've got dark Blackberry Bliss, dark Melon Mambo, and again, these are the old blends. But you know what? Keep them. I keep them until they're dried up. Medium. I'm probably not going to use the medium, but I pulled it out anyway. And then dark Magenta Madness. So we've got a purple and 2 pinks. All right, now this time I'm not going to put the adhesive on at first. So I want to stamp with basic gray. Now I tell you, I stamped this originally in black because I wanted to use my VersaFine Onyx ink. This has never dried. This has been sitting for over a day. And let me just push it right here. Give it a little... See how that comes up? I don't know if you can see it, but this hasn't dried and it's been 2 days. So, and now I'm getting black ink everywhere. So this was a fail. So this was VersaFine Onyx Pigment Ink for fine details. I love this ink, but now I know I'm not going to be using it on vellum. So another one for the garbage. All right, basic gray. Mine is an old basic gray pad, the archival, and it's a linen pad. They're not, the basic gray that we have now is not archival, and it's not linen. It's the foamy kind. But this is what I have. All right, so we're using Friends Are Like Seashells. Okay, so this one. And I just want some of these seashells. So basic gray. Hey, Molly. Yeah, we did some experimenting. You'll have to go back and catch that. All right, now let's just stamp here. Now you may need a piece of foam under your paper. I generally don't need that on my table. So that's the big seashell, and then we'll add the little sand dollar. And I want them just like in a clump. And then let's come in with the starfish. I really like this guy. Okay. That's all the stamping for right now. Now this, you want to sit to dry or heat set it or whatever. I made a different one. Which way does it go? This way. Okay. So that I wouldn't have to sit here and, wait for it. You could do the heat tool or, the little hair dryer thing, or just let it sit. But I did this one maybe 2 hours ago, and that is dry. So Similar technique, but since we're stamping on it first, we're going to flip it over and we're going to do stuff on the back, like the stained glass technique that we've done years and years ago. All right, so Blackberry Bliss. So I kind of want this guy to mostly be the blackberry. And we'll see what kind of movement we get. This part is kind of an experiment too. All right, then we'll take the dark Melon Mambo. And I'm just gonna go around the edges, not quite to the edge, just because I don't know what kind of movement we're gonna get. And then the dark Magenta Madness for a little starfish guy. And this, I'm just really just gonna cover like down his lines. All right, so let's see what we're gonna get. So again, we're gonna take our little medicine dropper and our blowy thing, and I'm gonna start with the biggest one. Why not? So I do have to be, and I'm not gonna worry about if it goes off the sides a little bit. I do have to be more, not as heavy-handed with the alcohol. I'm thinking, boop, one little bit right there. All right, let me put a piece of white under this so we can just see better. How about that? All right, so see how it's scooting past the outline of the image? That's okay. All right. Now, if you didn't have one of these droppers, you could do the same thing as other people have shown, that Sue showed, especially with the that's a spritzer, with one of your brushes and just pounce it on there. But I kind of like this with just adding the few drops of alcohol. So this one was the Melon Mambo, and that really took the color away, like quickly. I'm not going to be too aggressive with this blowing because I do really want to keep it kind of corralled. All right, let's see what happens with the Magenta Madness. Ooh, I like that. So I'm just trying to direct the flow with my blowy tool. And it's getting out of hand a little bit. Ooh, I like that purple. Okay. Neat. All right, so this was Blackberry Bliss, Melon Mambo, Magenta Madness. I am most happy with these two. All right, now the idea is that we would flip it over, and I am not a fan of the blackberry. All right, so let's go back with the medium Melon Mambo. Hopefully this will pick up some of the blackberry. I'm trying to lighten this up because I don't like the blackberry. All right, so more alcohol. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see what we get. And I am going to put more alcohol over here on the edges because I do want that to kind of disappear. Alcohol, it tends to, it's taking the color up as it's moving it. And you know what I just realized? The basic gray, so that's probably a little too light. I may have to go back with a different black ink and stamp over top of my shells on the right side of it. All right, let's get this. see how much this is lighting. I am really happy with these though, so I'm not going to mess with them. Okay. And it is starting to curl a little bit. I do like it. So when you put it against the white, I don't want to touch it because it's still wet. I do like that, but yes, I'm definitely going to go back. I'm going to leave it like this. Ooh, and I'm going to have to trim this. But I am going to stamp it in black. So I think I'm done with the alcohol for now. And I will figure out how to, I'll get this back in my jar because I'm not going to waste that. Okay, so let me continue to blow this a little bit just to dry it. And then we're going to go back and re-stamp. Good thing I use the photopolymer stamps. So then I can see exactly. Alright, this looks dry. Okay, so what ink, what ink? I'm not going to use Memento. Maybe I should. I have so many other ones. So I like this Tailored Expressions Oreo too for a hybrid ink. I just think it's going to be a little darker than the Memento. So actually, decision made. Tailored it is. Okay, so let's get in here with our biggest one first. This may be, that may be a mistake. Let's see how it goes. Alright, I gotta drag this over a little closer to me and hold it flat. Okay, let's hope for the best. And I got that mostly good. With this being such a, there's so much real estate on that. I mean, that's a lot more black than I wanted. I have a feeling these are going to go much better. Okay. A little bit of a shadow. And then a starfish. Let's see if I can get that. All right, got him pretty good. All right, now I'm going to have to hit this with my drying tool and hope that this dries. Like I should have thought about that. All right, hold please. This is going to look better when we put it on white. Okay. I'm not super happy with the, you know, the shadow look, but I like the ink behind it. Thanks, Peggy. All right, actually that worked out pretty good. I can tell that's dry. So again, I do want to put this over some white. Yeah, I really like that. Yep. And I do want to use the adhesive sheets again because I just like that all over coverage. So let's get another piece out. And I'm going to flip this over. And I'm probably going to have to trim it down again. So I had already cut these down, so we're just lifting this the flap to get things started. And I'm going to put this right at the edge. All right, and I can tell I got that a little bit crooked. Hey, Sally. Oh, I sent you another message just to you in the Google Hangouts. Are you on your way? Is Dave meeting you, or what's going on there? Okay. I'm just smoothing this out. And again, I can see all these little glue dots. I can see them. But on this side, it kind of looks linen-ish. I like it. All right, now I'm going to peel this up and stick it to the white. I'm just going to get it started on the one side. Do you see that glue coming up? Very, very sticky. All right, let's put this here. Yep. And then I'm going to peel and press my way up. There we go. Flip it over, give it a good rub. And I'm going to have to trim these sides down. So this was already 4 by 5 1/4, the white piece. So for this, I'm just going to take my scissors and trim around the edge. I don't think I'm going to add another layer of white, you know. Oof. Man, it's sticky. I'll have to clean my scissors off. Gail, I did find you a spare pair of these scissors, but they're gray. They're not blue. These blue ones, these were probably 20 years old. I know you were admiring my scissors. And at one point I had probably 10 pairs of these. But I don't know what's happened to them over the years. I know I've given some away. Okay. So I've got some black smudge over here, smudgy marks, but I'm just going to have to live with that. I like it. This, definitely better when I added the Melon Mambo, but Blackberry Bliss, that was too dark. Too dark for my liking. All right, so Magenta Madness card base, and we will give that a fold. And I'm going to put white on the inside of these. Actually, you know what? Let's trim this down a little bit more. Let's make this like a 5 by 3 3/4 layer. Gail's favorite. Oh, you bought them, Gail? Okay. Well, then I won't send you mine. All right, so 5 by 3 3/4. Let's trim a little bit off this side and then a little bit off this side. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I like this. So I just need a little greeting in white, and I'm going to hang that right over there. So let's pop this whole layer up. And then, ooh, it's after 12. And then I will be, then I'm finished. So again, this foam tape, I've gotten this off of, I want to say Amazon. I can't really remember. Maybe it was scrapbook.com. But this makes for quick work when you're trying to pop up a whole layer like this. It's very sticky. And we can add some liquid glue. Hear that squeak? This will just let me push it around, like, you know, so I don't lay it down and then it's in the wrong spot and I can't move it. So I should be able to wiggle it around a little bit. But I think I nailed it. Yeah, that's good. All right, so I'm just gonna let that sit there. Boop, 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 boop. All right, let's do a little greeting. Let's pick from the Friends Are Like Seashells. You are unique and completely amazing. Because I want something that's going to go like that. So happy I found you. Happy birthday. Oh, funny, Gail, you have to learn how to fussy cut better. I mean, you know, I never did that until the last 2 years. I couldn't be bothered with all that. But just don't rush it. So thank you or love you to the beach and back. But I really wanted something this way. We're going to go with you are unique and completely amazing. Okay. And I will hand cut that. So let's get a block real quick. And I will use the same Tailored Expressions Oreo. I like it. Alright, I feel like there's so much gunk on my fingers. Alright, let's trim this. I'm going to start this way. Because I was lining up with that UR. And now I'm just going to try to be straight-ish. You are unique and completely amazing. I want it to say, you are amazing. So let's do some more cutting. You are, boop, amazing. And I'm going to cut this right off. We're really doing some surgery today on these words. All right. I like that. Okay, you are amazing. Yeah, you are. And let's use some little, the mini glue dots. These are left over from Paper Pumpkin kits. And see how they come in handy? You just lift it up, put it on there. And then pick it off. All right. And I want to do these like at an angle. You are amazing. Then I think I'm going to add some opal rounds and or rhinestones. You are amazing. Okay, good for that. All right, so let's do rhinestones, and where are my opal rounds? Here we go. Now the opal rounds, it is hard to tell the difference, but there are 2 different sizes in here. There's some bigger ones and some smaller ones. So let's do, I want to do 3. So I'm going to do 1 of each size. Let's do a big one here, and then the little one up here. And then we'll do a rhinestone. Boop. Oh, I kind of want it like right there. I like that. Okay. I like mixing and matching even the accessories. I think that's a neat look. Okay. So that is today's experiment with alcohol. So let me bring that one back. This is still very wet, and it looks like it's moved around some more. So I think I'll definitely, once this is dry, I'm going to splatter it some more, and then I'll take a picture and show you guys. But that was our experiment with re-inkers and alcohol and the blowy thing. All right, but then here's our 2 cards that we made. So we've got our dragonfly background, and this was we colored it right on top of the vellum and then added the alcohol and blew it around. And then this one, we did it on the back side of the vellum, like the stained glass. So I hope you liked, I hope you learned something and liked it. And I will see you guys next week. Next week is going to be my June workshop, because that'll be the first Thursday of the month. And then next Saturday is my BOGO sale, which if you've not joined my group, Toni's Stamping and Sharing group, get over there and join that, because that's where I'm going to post. I've already got the albums created, so you can see how I've like divided them up. And I just counted the other day because I made some spreadsheets. I think I have about 175 items. So, yep, check that out, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.